Okay, hi everyone. We are on this Zoom call today to discuss vendor events and just sort of answer some questions about them and share some tips that have worked for me with vendor events in terms of getting people to either enroll on the spot or have some sort of positive interaction with them. Vendor events are tricky, to say the least. I think that they're a really, really great opportunity to expand your network, right? So in network marketing, it's all about meeting new people. And that's the only way to continue to grow. And so we do this different ways. And one of the ways is with vendor events, because at minimum, we know we're going to be in front of people we don't know yet. So what happens from that interaction is really depends on the person and depends on what we're offering. I can say in the 4 years I've been doing doTERRA vendor events, I've had some that were awesome and I felt like were totally worth the investment and totally worth the energy and time and resources. And I've had others that I felt really weren't. And so there aren't any guarantees. The best I can say with vendor events is you have to decide whether what you're paying for that vendor event is an amount that you're okay and it's not going to ruin you if nothing comes of it. If you sell nothing, if you enroll no one, and it simply was a way to market yourself that day and consider it a marketing expense. Vendor events can range anywhere between $20. Sorry, I have to shut my speakers off because I'm getting messages. $20, $15, all the way up to hundreds or thousands of dollars. And so my recommendation is if you're a new builder in doTERRA, do not invest in events that are hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, because it's almost guaranteed you are not going to get a good return on that investment, and it's going to be a hit to you. So I am a diamond rank with doTERRA. I've been with doTERRA 4 years, and I've never done an event that cost me thousands of dollars. The largest event that I've done or that I've paid for was $500, and it was shared amongst 5 builders. So we really only paid under $200 a person. And so, those are the types of things to keep in mind. That said, I do think it's worth looking into vendor events and finding affordable ones. I consider an affordable vendor event personally to be anything $100 or less. If it's $200 or $300, and it's a 3-day event, so sometimes you may find some that are whole weekends and they're Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'd be willing to pay a couple $100 for something like that, because it's more than one event technically, right? You're there for 2 or 3 days. So that plays a part if you can afford it. If you can't, then maybe not. Maybe you can go in with your team and you can split it. If it's an event that's $300 and it's 3 days, pay $100 each and each person gets a day or something like that. So this way you can cushion the cost of it. That said, once you've decided to do your vendor event and you are getting ready, I have sort of a process or a flow that I follow when I'm doing a vendor event. When someone comes to my table, I am going to try to do different things with them, starting with the first and kind of going down from there. My first interaction with someone, if they come to my table at a vendor event, is going to be to try to enroll them. That's my goal. I want to enroll them. I have enrolled people at vendor events on the spot, so I do know that it's possible to do that. It's in the beginning, it feels like, I'll never, and I used to tell myself that, I'll never enroll someone at a vendor event because they're not listening to a full class and I'm not sitting with them for an hour and talking to them and consulting with them and going over their issues. So I'm not there to enroll people. I'm just there to get their information and then try to follow up with them later and get them to meet with me later. That was my mentality at first, because I had that block of, if someone's not sitting with me for a consult or listening to a full class, it's not possible for them to enroll with me. But then I did one day. I actually enrolled someone. And so I thought, so that shifted everything for me. And I thought, well, wait a minute. If I enrolled one person this way, that means I should offer that to everyone. Maybe I won't enroll everyone, but I won't know unless I try, right? So that's my focus. So what I do is someone comes over to the table is, of course, I ask them if they've heard of oils before. I'll drop a drop of peppermint in their hands. I love to use peppermint because, you know, it's like one of those oils that just like, boom, people are like, what is this? It opens me up right away. They have a reaction to it. I do urge them not to put their hands to their face like this with the peppermint, right? We don't want them to have a bad experience and have their eyes start to water as they're sitting there with us or talking to us. So I say, you know, I give them instructions. I say, put the drop in your hand, keep your hands away from your eyes. It's very, very potent. And then take a deep breath down here, pass your hands behind your neck, up above your head, you know. So I tell them exactly what to do so their experience is positive and it's not like they're like, oh my God, what is this stuff? And I'll ask them, do you like peppermint? Do you mind the drop of peppermint? If they have an issue with peppermint, some people don't like peppermint or they think they're allergic to it, maybe I'll do a wild orange, right? So I give them an experience if they like that. Then from there, I explain to them that these are essential oils. I ask them if they've ever heard of essential oils before. I ask them if they've ever heard of doTERRA, if they've ever been sampled. Why do I do this? Because in doTERRA, you want to make sure that you're not stepping on toes either. And there is a level of ethics that we do hold high in our culture. And if someone is has someone that they know in doTERRA and it's their sister or a family member, I think it's the right thing to do to send them back to that family member if that family member is willing to support them and enroll them and educate them, right? So you have to ask the right questions at first to make sure that this person isn't already being sampled by someone or isn't already working with someone, because they may not know. They may not know that there's a difference if they sign up with you, if the other person's affected. Not everybody understands how network marketing works. So you just want to ask the right questions. Once you get that out of the way and they say, let's say they've heard of doTERRA, but you know, they've never been sampled or anything. So then you explain a little bit about what the oils are. I love using, hopefully I have one by my hand here, the trifolds. I don't know if you guys have seen. I'm going to start using these. Oh, I think I gave them one. Let me just run and grab one. Just want to show you what it looks like really quickly. Right back. So I'm going to start using these for everything. This is going to be my go-to for my classes, for my vendor events, for my one-on-ones. I am in love with these trifolds. They are super simple. Lisa Zimmer designed them. You can get the blank templates from her for $20 and just design them. And then on Vistaprint, you can print them out super affordably. There's coupon codes. I think I paid under $100 for 500 of them. So what I love about this is that you can go over this pamphlet with the person right there at your vendor event in a matter of 5 minutes quickly and just explaining, okay, this is what the oils are. You go to the first page here. This has what an oil is, what makes doTERRA different than whatever else is on the market. You have the 10 basic oils here. Like, I'm not going to go through all 10 basic oils with the person, but what I normally say is that what we typically start people with when they're ready to really look for natural options for their wellness is replacing their medicine cabinet naturally. And doTERRA has these kits that have the 10 most popular oils in them. They replace your medicine cabinet entirely. So if you can imagine a Walgreens and everything in a Walgreens that you would use for a symptom, you will have a replacement of anything in there with these 10 oils. And in addition to that, you can also replace all of your cleaning products that you use in the home, many of which cause a lot of the health problems people have. I also teach you how to use your oils for that. So I keep it super brief. I don't go over all the oils. I may mention a couple by asking them, you know, is there anything that you suffer from? Is there anything you use a medicine for? If they tell me, oh yeah, I'm on allergy drugs or I'm on sleep drugs or whatever they say, then I'll tailor it to them and just maybe go over the lavender, go over the, you know, oils for allergies, something really quickly. And then I'll show them that we have the kits. I normally, if you don't have a brand new kit, you can also just have the box, you know, of the kit, just to show them what it looks like, and just have the empty bottles in there, or have a little bit of oil in each one so they can smell them if they just want to smell them while they're there. And then I show them what the kits look like, and I say, this is what people normally start with. And because we have a vendor event today, we have a special vendor promotion, and if you enroll today, you get things. And as I'm saying, you get a 2-week program with me on Facebook, where you're going to learn extensively how to use your kit and how to use all of your oils in your kit, because I realize we're not giving you all of that information today. So it's going to give you like a 2-week schooling program called Oil Camp that's exclusive to our members. You're going to get a one-on-one consult with me, where I'm going to go over your individual health needs, and I'm going to tell you how to use these oils to target each of those needs, and make blends with you for free. That's included as well. You're also going to get today a diffuser. This is a, you know, and what I do with this is I'll get, when Spa Room throws the specials on diffusers, where you can sometimes get a box for $10 each or something like that, I'll grab those, because those diffusers normally retail for $50 and $60. So I'll tell them this is a $60 diffuser, but if you enroll with your kit today, because if they're going to enroll with the Family Essentials kit, for instance, it doesn't come with a diffuser, and that's a very popular kit because it's $150, but it has the frankincense in it, and it's the smaller bottles, but it doesn't come with a diffuser. So I'll say, if you happen to enroll with our kit that doesn't have a diffuser, because a couple of them do, and of course I'm going to try to get them to buy the Home Essentials kit, because that one's a better value and it's got the bigger bottles. But I'll say you can either get an extra diffuser for $10, or maybe I'll offer them a Modern Essentials book if they decide to get the diffuser that, they decide to get the kit that already has the diffuser. So you want to offer, and I don't normally recommend offering incentives for enrollments, because it's not necessary. Really, when you're doing a class or when you're doing a consult, I don't think it's a good use of your fast start. I don't think it's a sound investment for you to make for an enrollment. I think those are more sound to make for your LRP member overviews. So that's the difference, that in vendor events, I do it because they're not sitting through a class with me and they're making an impulse buy. And so with an impulse buy, I want to give them this incentive, because people with the psychology of sales, they don't want to miss out on stuff. Like, that's just like a thing. It's called fear of missing out. So when you sell something and you're like, if you do this today, because it's a vendor event special, you get this diffuser, normally $60, you get it for $10, what have you. A lot of times they'll just grab it, right? I start with that. If the person is like, well, I really don't want to spend $150 right now, I wasn't intending on doing that, but I really want a diffuser, right? Because you're going to have all your diffusers there and have them going. Can I just buy a diffuser and like a few oils? My next step from getting them to get a full kit is saying, well, our other option is the $60 diffusers. You can get them for the discount deal if you buy the wholesale account for a year. So you'll pay $35 for the wholesale account for a year, so you'll get your discounts on your oils all year round. We have, and then I'll have like the intro kits there, you know, the kits with the 3 oils, right? The lemon, lavender, peppermint that are normally $30 retail. So I'll say, then you get these 3 oils. Instead of paying $30 for it, you get it for $20. You pay your $35, and then, so basically you're getting for 55, maybe 65, 70, right? For $70, is that right on my math? I'm not good at math, but I'm thinking it's like 35 plus 20 is 55, 60, 75. So for $15 more, right? Because if they would to buy the diffuser retail, they'd be paying $60 for it anyway. So you're showing them that for like an extra 10, $15, they're going to get their wholesale account. They're going to get a few oils to get started with, and they're going to get their diffuser. You still enroll them, and then you make sure to set up their member overview with them, because regardless of how you enroll somebody, whether you enroll them with the 10 basic oil kit or you enroll them with $35 and a couple oils, if you can get them on LRP, that's what really matters. It doesn't matter what they enroll with. I've enrolled people with $35. There's a lady on my team named Charlotte that I met at a vendor event in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's an expensive event Mary did. I think she paid like $600 for the booth. It was an expensive one. So she wanted to do that event. So I went and helped her with it. And we met Charlotte there. And Charlotte admitted to me that she thought I was crazy, that she thought that these oils were not going to do what I said they were going to do. And she was not going to spend $150 on a kit that she didn't believe in, but wanted the diffuser. So we got her the diffuser. She got her little 3 oils kit, got her started with that. And I saw a few weeks later that Mary's volume kept jumping up and up and up. I said, what's going on? When I checked, Charlotte had spent something around $1,800 on oils the following 6 weeks. So was it worth enrolling her with $35 and the 3 oils? Absolutely. Because what I did was then I introduced her to our culture. I brought her in to our family. I got her into oil camp. I gave her time. I sent her a welcome package with literature. You know, anytime anyone enrolls with me, I send them a welcome letter with a few sample bottles, a few roller bottles, some literature. I have different tear sheets on all kinds of topics. So based on my conversations with people, if I hear them say that they suffer from emotional issues, then I'll send them an emotional tear sheet. If they're into their pets tremendously, I'll send them one for their pets. Whatever it is that their needs are, like I have a little bit of literature for. So I send them their little package. So she had gotten her package. She went through oil camp, which if you enroll anyone, please, please, please make sure to encourage that oil camp program is a great benefit for them during their enrollment. So they see it as a perk that they're getting for enrolling with us, that it's free for them. It's support, guidance, education of 2 weeks with us. They're going to learn a ton. They're going to know how to use their oils effectively. And what that's going to do normally is it's going to get them excited. So Charlotte did her oil camp. She didn't have all the oils. She only had 3. So of course she went through oil camp and she was like, oh, I need the On Guard. I need the oregano. I need all these other oils. And 6 weeks later, she probably had most of them because she spent $1,800 on oils by the time it was said and done. So that's why I say, you know, focus on the enrollment at a vendor event first. And you may enroll them right there with the kit or with the $35 because they want the diffuser. A lot of times people come, they just want to buy something in that moment. So offering them the incentive of, we'll get the diffuser for 10, go ahead and get your enrollment done. Let's do put the member overview on the calendar with them that day. Don't backtrack and try to call them later because it's going to be really difficult to get them to commit to meeting with you again in the future. And always say that they are getting an enrollment gift at that member overview too. So even though you've already, you know, they have their diffuser or whatever, you can also make like little welcome packages. It doesn't have to be expensive. People don't, they just know they're getting a gift and that's like an incentive for them. So a couple spray bottles, the roller bottles, maybe a few pieces of literature, whatever it is you want to give them, and have them meet with you either on the phone. Charlotte wasn't even local to me. I didn't have the luxury of meeting with her in person, but we chatted on the phone, we chatted on Facebook and all of that. So it doesn't have to be that way. And in vendor events, people may be pretty spread out. So it may not be convenient for the person to meet with you in person, and that's okay. That's what the beauty of technology is. We have Zoom, we have the phone, we have Facebook, whatever it takes. But just make sure you have that connection call with them so you can. And I like Zoom because I can go in and share the screen. I can show them their back office. I can show them how to set up an LRP. I can explain what their benefits are of LRP, right? So they get the free points and all of that. So those are my 2 focuses when I meet people in a vendor event. We start there. If they're like, no, you know, you can't get them to commit to either of those 2 options, the next thing to do is get them to see if they're open to filling something out for like a raffle, right? So this way you're collecting their information and you can get them to potentially want to win something, right? So you have the little raffle sheets. I get mine from Share Oils, and it has their information, text, email, whatever. And then it also has a little section at the bottom that they pick off different things, whether they're interested in hormone health or sleep issues or allergies or whatever it is. And so when you contact them, you can bring that up. And so what I say that they are entering for is that they're entering to win a free consult with me and a free customized blend. the reason I do the free customized blend is because everyone can be a winner. You know, why not? You're getting I buy the little 5 milliliter bottles, roller bottles on Glass Bottle Outlet, which are super affordable. They're this size. They're not like you have to even give them a huge size. You give them a 5 milliliter customized blend. And you call them, call everybody back and say that they won their customized blend and their consult. How can you set it up with them? And this way, some people will meet with you again or do a Zoom with you, and you can consult with them and follow up with everyone and make everyone a winner, instead of, you know, getting 20, 30 names and calling just one winner, and then the rest of them you're going to go do what? Call them and say, you didn't win, but it kind of like puts out the energy, right? So if you call everyone super excited and you're like, oh, you won, you get the free consult, you get a customized blend, you know, based on your needs, I'd love to set this up with you. This way, with that excitement, you'll get more people to want it, you know, to say, sure, I'll do that with you. And make it convenient for them. You know, if you can't meet with me in person, we can hop on a Zoom call together and I can just ship out your blend to you. Super cheap. It's going to cost you a couple dollars to ship it out if you have to do that. So those are the ways that I focus on making the connections with people in my vendor events. I'm not really big on selling a bunch of stuff retail or selling a bunch of inventory and products at a vendor event. It's just not my focus. I feel like it's a waste of time. You know, if I do have some stuff, I have the intro kits, I'll bring beadlets, I'll bring, you know, mostly beadlets, the drops, and the intro kits. I really keep it super simple. And of course, if you have extra oils on hand that you just have surplus of, bring them, you may sell them off, but it's not my focus. I start with the other places first. And then if they just want to buy something at the table, sure, I'll have them buy it, but I'll ask them to still get their information so I can follow up with them, see how they're doing on it, send them information on other ways to use the oils that they've purchased. And you just want to try to form that connection and have a way to keep in touch with them. Whether it's also saying, you know, I have these events or these classes in the area. Would you be interested in getting invitations to come learn more about how to use oils? And this way you can start your mailing list of a way to invite people to classes that you hopefully are going to start doing on a consistent basis, because it goes hand in hand with building this business. The vendor events, yes, you meet new people, but you want to have consistent events of education, whether it's in person or you do Facebook Live classes every week and you connect people to your Facebook page. But it's just a way of meeting new people to connect them and plug them into whatever way you most connect with your clients. And that's what I found to be most effective overall, you know. And of course, once you form those connections and that sort of thing, I try to get those people to host classes for me, which, you know, quite a few times I've been able to do that from a vendor event interaction. So, you know, it's just, again, a way to meet new people, try to enroll them on the spot if you can. And if you don't, then you move down from there. Don't start at, you know, even if they come in and they go, oh, I see you have peppermint on your table. How much is that peppermint? Well, yes, we have peppermint, but let me explain to you how people normally get oils with us. So still try to bring them back to talking about your, you know, your 10 basic oils, because that's, you never know. They may decide to just go ahead and enroll. That's how I recommend doing vendor events. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask questions. And when I post this, well, I don't know if I'm going to post this or is Beth is just going to post it in your group, but I probably will post it also. So in the thread, you can ask questions and I'll reply to them as well.
I have a couple questions, Marlene.
Sure.
Number one thing I was wanting to know is, like, can you kind of give me a rundown of, so I know you mentioned that you bring diffusers and you bring like the intro kits. So could you kind of give me a rundown of what like materials you have, so you have everything kind of prepared for the event?
I bring the intro kit. So, you know, that's the 3 basic oils. I can show you what it looks like. People that are kind of newer, they're newer on this 3 basic oil kit. I'll bring Right now, I probably have like 20 of these there. So if you get 6 at a time, there's a little bit of a savings. I think it's like they come out to under $20 each if you get them in the 6-pack. So I'll get these. I get the beadlets.
Bringing like 12 of them, you think, or?
It's a good number to bring, I think. Yeah. 12 is good. I mean, depends on how big the event's going to be. When we did the one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, was at a convention center, and we did run out toward the end. We ran out. But what we ended up doing was just still enrolling the people with the diffuser and then just having the intro kit sent to them directly, you know, once we ran out. But yeah, so I get these, I get beadlets, and I do sample the beadlets because for some reason, you know, beadlets are really powerful for some people and they love them. So I'll sample beadlets too, the On Guard and the peppermint, mostly the peppermint, and people just want to buy them on the spot. I'll have like the Slim and Sassy gum. Things that are cheap, things that are like, that they can just grab and sample. So I'll try to sample the gum, sample the beadlets, the intro kits, have my diffusers. I have the Lifelong Vitality on the table just to talk to people about it if it comes up. I think that's an important thing to show that we do have vitamins. And then I'll just have the 10 basic oils. I don't bring a ton of other oils. I don't want to overwhelm clients. I just want them to understand how to use the 10 basic oils. And then outside of that, to sell, I'll bring the beadlets. Sometimes I bring the cough drops. The sanitizer is good to bring. Depending on where you live and the time of month that it is, the repellent blend may be good, you know, like in the summertime for mosquitoes. Things that are like small and cheap and people can just pick up. But I normally will have it open too, so I'll sample them a little bit of the sanitizer and explain why they shouldn't be using that, you know, chemical crappy sanitizer that people use. That it's bad for the good bacteria on their hands and it actually lowers their defenses. So you're kind of educating them a little bit, but that's pretty much it. I really don't like overwhelming my table. I think that when people come to a table and there's too much going on, they are going to be overwhelmed and not even know what to start with. And I just feel like a confused mind says no. So they are going to just be like, well, I don't know what this all is. I'm getting out of here. But when it's just a few things and you kind of just guide them right to, this is what this table is about. We're about getting people to get started with the 10 basic oils. Then having those other few things available to sell can help cover the cost of your table too. So I would sell them at retail unless they join. So if I can get them to join, then of course, anything on my table, I'm going to give to them for their wholesale account. And that may also encourage them to go ahead and join if they want to buy a few things.
Mm-hmm. How many, did you say that you bring any kits, like the family essentials kit or home essentials kit?
It's not necessary to do that, but you can. And I do have a couple that I keep in rotation, not just for vendor events, but I do that because sometimes people come to a consult with me and they're sick in that moment and they don't want to wait 3 to 5 days to get their oils. So I have a couple kits that I just rotate, and when they're ready to enroll with me, even if it's at a consult here, I will give them that kit, and then I'll just, when I enroll them, I'll have the kit that they're getting sent to me to replace mine. So I will keep a few in rotation, and the same with vendor events. Sometimes people just want to, and I've had that happen at vendor events where someone's like, well, can I take it home today? Sure, absolutely you can. You just got to make sure to have a computer or a tablet or some way to enroll the person on the spot and make sure that that kit is on its way to you. Don't just take like a paper form, because if that credit card gets declined or something, they've already left with your kit. So you just want to make sure that the kit is paid for before you give it to them. And then, okay, Tandy said she had to hop off. So yeah, so I have done that too. Like, and I, you know, you don't have to have a ton, even if you have a couple. I mean, that is an investment because you're $125. But once you enroll the person, the benefit to that too is that of course you're going to get the beadlets. I mean, you're probably going to have extra beadlets if you're selling them anyway. So it's up to you, but you also get their enrollment packet. So what that does is that you make sure to meet with them again, right? So that way when they get that, when that enrollment package comes to you with the kit replacing it, their book, you tell them you get this beautiful book that we have with all the products in it, with the explanations on everything. So we're going to have to meet up again so I can give you your book and do your member overview. That's another way to kind of ensure that compliance, that they meet with you again. So you can have that member overview with them and you can get them on LRP.
Okay. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then the other question I had, just one more question is, so let's say you're doing a vendor event with somebody else and you paid for like the table, you paid for like the signs, the kits, like everything there, you paid for it, but you're there with one of your builders and you guys are doing this together. How do you know like who gets the enrollment? Like like what do? Do you get the enrollment, then put it under them? Do they get the enrollment? Like, how do you figure?
It doesn't matter how you decide to do that as long as it's clear. So you can make an agreement that I wouldn't necessarily personally tell a builder, you know, just because they're doing an event with me that every single person is going to go under them, because that's not necessarily going to benefit my business. I may say that, you know, if I'm paying for everything, what I would personally do is just split the leads with them. So I get one, they get one. I get one, they get one. But normally I have people join in on the cost. I mean, there's exceptions to everything, but this is everyone's business. So I split it with my builders. So if it's $500, we split whatever amount of build, like the one that I had, we had 4 or 5 builders. So we split the cost down the middle. And then, of course, I brought some diffusers. They brought some diffusers. So if I sold my diffusers, I sold my diffusers. If the person chose their diffusers, then they sold theirs. We all had different, you know, models of them. And we all brought a couple different things in inventory. So whatever we had, we just made sure we knew what was ours. And if we sold our thing, we sold our thing. And then we split the leads. So if somebody walked up to the table, we took turns taking care of them. And there was 4 or 5 of us. So it's doable as long as it's clear. But like, I don't think that it's necessary to promise anyone that everyone's going to go under them just because they did an event with you, especially if they're not investing in it. Like, it's still about, you have to still balance out your volume for your rank and stuff. So you just make sure that it's clear. And I've seen some things written in the leadership pages where there's all kinds of like conflict because of this. So make sure that the communication is clear, that the expectations are clear, and that everyone knows what's going to happen and what's expected. But there's no rule. You just kind of decide based on, you know, your own situation.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've already done my trifold. I bought it from Lisa Zimmerman, or whatever her name is, and I've adapted it for the UK because we have different enrollment kits than the US. So if anybody on the team needs that, I've done it. I've done the PDF. I've done the business card, so I've got that as well with her enrollment on the back. So it's all adapted for the UK. So if you have anyone that wants that, I'm really happy to share it.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. We have some customers in the UK. I love more builders out there. Hopefully someday we'll have more builders, but that's good to know because I know it is a bit different there in the UK and even other parts of Europe. The enrollment kits have different costs and all of that too. So that's awesome that you were able to design it. And I just think this is such an amazing tool. It's so simple. I don't even use business cards anymore. Like, I just give this out because this has everything. It has my information on it, and then it tells them how to enroll. So if you explain everything to someone at a vendor event and you can't get them to do it in that moment, if they say, you know what, I just want to go home and read through this, or I want to look up some stuff online, or I want to talk to my husband, you tell them, okay, well, if you decide, here, you can call me, but there's also very detailed instructions right here on the back of how you go ahead and enroll and choose the kit that you like. And they may just go home and enroll with your number. It's all on here. So simple.
And the business cards have that on the back of them of how to enroll. So I've done all of that if anybody wants the template.
That's awesome.
And the only other thing is that if I did enroll anybody, the oil camp, I did oil camp and it was absolutely fantastic. But I was up at midnight doing that. And it would be really good if we could have one, if anybody was in Europe, a little bit earlier, because staying up till midnight to do it is a little bit late.
Yeah, and you don't have to. Like, I don't know if, and I'm sorry if that wasn't clear when you did yours, but people don't have to post, don't have to start commenting or watching those right away. They stay up the entire 2 weeks. And even when I start the oil camps every 2 weeks with a new group, but even when I start the following oil camp, I keep the prior one up a couple weeks after, so I give people a chance to catch up on things. They may not qualify any longer for the prizes. Once I decide who's won and we do the points for that, that's like, but that we always do that at the very, very last. Actually, we do it 3 days after it ends. So it ends on a Saturday, and then like Wednesday, I announce the winners. So people technically have those extra few days to go in and comment if they want to comment. And even though, you know, there's a post there that tells them, oh, you have to comment by midnight, we usually count on that Wednesday, we'll count who the winners are, and that's when we put it down. So people don't have to go. In fact, I have a system that post that for me automatically. Like, I'm not up at 7 a.m. posting that stuff on Facebook. Like, I have a program that I use and pay for, and it posts it automatically for me at the set times that I post it. But people don't have to be there at that moment. They can go in the next day. They can go in at any time that's convenient for them, watch the videos, read the information, and just interact and post their comments. And we don't count them for winning until the very, very, very end of oil camp, which is later.
All right. So I can let people know that they're not going to miss out.
Right. Absolutely. They won't miss out. You know, they may post a question at your time and we may be sleeping here, or vice versa. So it may take us a little while to reply to them, but it's not like they have to be posting it when we're up. We will definitely. And I try to stay really good about looking at who's posted questions the following day and answering their questions. And we have like 4 or 5 other coaches as well who help me do that.
Okay. Well, I think I'm all set for my vendor event this weekend. It's a whole weekend event. I've got my 6 packets of the beginner kit. I've got the emotional touch kit, and I've got the family essentials kit. I've got 12 diffusers. I've got all the oil cards that I bought from the Lisa Zimmerman thing with all my samples. Yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah. So I just keep my fingers crossed. I've got my parents on the second table selling diffuser jewelry to offset my costs.
Okay.
And giving away with the diffuser jewelry 2 samples of oil with my website address on. So if nothing else, and a business card with how to enroll attached to every piece of jewelry.
Do you have a raffle sheet for them to fill out, or a
raffle sheet? I've bought the drawing slips from Essential Oil Supply so they can fill in what they're interested in. And I'm going to have a sign up of classes and workshops as well.
Oh, good. Please let us know how it goes for you. I'm excited.
I will. I'm terrified.
And we also have the enrollment special. We have that I didn't mention that. And that's just this, you know, this video is going to be probably out for months to come, but it is April now. And we do have an enrollment special of that 50 free. So
that's right. So I put that on the front cover of my trifold.
Oh, good.
So instead of a picture of me, it's got the enroll today, April special, enroll today, blah, blah, blah. And I'm also, because they're qualified in the Aroma Touch as well, so anyone that enrolls with a Home Essentials kit is going to get a voucher for a free Aroma Touch as well.
That's a great incentive too, for sure, because it doesn't really cost us anything except the oils we use, and it really gives people an amazing experience with the treatment and showing what the oils feel like in the body. So that's incredible. If you guys are not familiar with Aroma Touch, please look it up. If you're not local to me, you can find a map of how to get certified in Aroma Touch. And I have to just take one more class with Dr. Hill, which I just found out they're going to be announcing it soon. So I will be certifying in Aroma Touch hopefully in the next couple months here. And I can travel to certify if I have enough people that want to get certified. And I really recommend learning how to do these and exposing your clients and your leads to that treatment, because it is amazing and people just fall. I haven't had one person have an Aroma Touch who doesn't end up enrolling. So definitely learn about that treatment. And once I'm certified, I will be sharing that with everyone so you can get certified. I mean, once I'm certified, to certify others is what I meant. Okay. Awesome. Do you have anything else, Beth?
Sorry, how many people would you need to be able to travel to train for Aromatouch? Like 6, 12? What would be the?
Probably, anywhere between like 6 and 10 would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm so happy about this weekend for you. Please let us know how it goes.
I will.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll be seeing things go up on my back office.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, guys, have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let me just stop the recording here.